You are currently watching the demise of me and Flying Wheels. I am a beaten man that keeps getting kicked when he's knocked down. I give up. Barrett Jackson, you won. I try to make it right. I try to do things the right way. I was wronged and you just keep doing me dirty. You're bigger than me. You have more money than me. You win. I lose, and I continue to keep losing, so congratulations. Craig, what are you talking about? Well, not that long ago, there was a yellow Ferrari 360 sitting right in this open space. I sold it at the Barrett Jackson Auction. We had a description. They didn't say the description. They just did me a little dirty and made it pretty much unsellable, and I sold the car for a $30,000 loss, $30,000 less than we were originally expecting and originally spoke about selling it for. Now, I've already made videos about that. Where are they? Oh, where are those videos? I was demanded to take them down. All of my YouTube videos with my footage, my content, my story that I would use to monetize to help recoup that giant loss because of the Barrett Jackson auction. I am now forced to remove all of those videos as well. In today's video, like I said, I lost. I'm a beaten man that is kicked when he's down, and I'm gonna get into the details of what the heck is going on. I try to make it right so many times, and it just doesn't matter. I'm the little guy, and no one cares. Oh, man, this is supposed to be such fun. Sometimes this job's tough. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. Oh no. Oh no. So after a month of waiting, I finally have a check here for $46,000 for a yellow Ferrari that was easily worth $70,000. $46,000 is what the final check is, and it took a month for me to receive it, which is a real bummer. Now, my Ferrari Series was pretty positive. It started off with $400, made it to an $88,000 Ferrari. I kept the money, and then I bought a Ferrari for, if I look right here, $56,500 plus buyer fee plus shipping of $1,100. I owned it for $58,109. I then did $4,000 worth of service, including belts, hoses, fluids, plugs, filters, and then of course the timing belt. So anybody that buys that car, it can feel secure knowing that the timing belt was replaced as well in a 2002 Ferrari with 42,000 miles. Now, if you're ever thinking about selling any vehicle at the Barrett Jackson auction, I'm telling you right now, beware. I'm gonna show you what went wrong here and why it cost me so much money, as well as how they're still targeting me and coming after me right now silently, which is even worse. I mean, if we were communicating, it would have been easier, but they refused to communicate, and it's just hurting me silently, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. Now, I'm warning you right now, I make these videos to show you what I go through, and if you ever thought about doing it yourself, what you could potentially go through. This is your warning. You have no power, no control. I have a check for $46,000, and I should be thanking them and feel fortunate, I guess, that I have this check right now, which to me just makes me sick. Now, what do I mean by I have no power, no control? Well, that vehicle was sold before it even ran through the auction. I signed all my rights to Barrett Jackson. I gave them access to that car. I gave them the title. I signed a bill of sale. I signed my life away with that car the day I allowed them access to sell it. So I sold it to Barrett Jackson. Barrett Jackson then sold it to the buyer. And that's how they get away with the no reserve, because I sold it to them for basically zero, and then they give me the proceeds after they sell it. And then for whatever it sells is what I get a check for after their commissions and fees. No reserve, it's my fault. I allowed it to happen, and I have no one to blame but myself. But these are things you need to look out for if you ever consider selling your car on something like this. Now, forget the $46,000. I've actually already purchased a vehicle with it, and this money's been spent before it even came in, and we're gonna move on. I have it out of my head. I have the loss out of my head. The problem is I keep getting kicked when I'm down. So you may be noticing that the two videos that I hired a videographer for, and I spent a lot of time creating, telling a story, writing a script for, paid a lot of money for, and spent hours and hours and hours editing, aren't on YouTube anymore. It's because Barrett Jackson forced me to remove them from everywhere. A couple 100,000 views on YouTube, literally millions of views on Instagram, and then another million on Facebook, and the footage was forced to be removed, and I'm gonna get into that in just a minute. Now, I said Barrett Jackson keeps kicking me when I'm down. I rely on my YouTube revenue, my monetization from social media, to help cover some of the losses that I make when I sell cars and take a loss. I suffer a loss, but I make up for it oftentimes in YouTube videos. And by Barrett Jackson forcing me to remove my videos, not only did I take a loss on the car because of them, I also am now not recouping it in my videos. Hey, pardon the interruption, but I'm gonna give one of you $100 in just a minute. What are we doing right now? Well, we skipped into this video. We're on our way to Key Largo right now to go pick up a 1985 Bronco from the original owner. Back on track, back to some fun projects. How am I gonna give one of you $100? Well, all you have to do is two things. Comment in the comment section, electric, L-E-C-T-R-I-C, and like this video, and we will randomly select one of you to Venmo, PayPal, Zelle you $100 just for saying thanks for watching our videos and supporting our channel. What's electric? Let me tell you right now. The e-bike is missing, so I'm sure he took my e-bike once again. Yeah, there he is. Look at that thing fly. All right, bring it back over here. So that is pedal assist or just electric only, right? So I got the fat tires so we can use it on the beach or in the sand. We also have trails that he uses it on. It has hydraulic disc brakes in the front and in the rear. It has my rack for my briefcase or any type of storage. It does come with a kickstand. Hit the throttle, which is right here. You can just go. It is freaking fast. Now we can charge it right here, which is supposed to be plugged in. The battery is removable. It does have a headlight. Now we bought it with 0 miles. You use it all the time, so 128 miles on it now. It does have gears, so you can change the gearing. All right, go ahead and take off. So much fun. Oh, he wants to show me something. What do you want to show me? Cool. Now from the factory it goes 20 miles an hour. He figured out how to hack it so it goes 28 miles an hour, and the range is tremendous on it. We can use this thing all day, come back, charge it, use it again. It's amazing. Or you can just use it as a regular bicycle. Electric, the way to go. There's a link in my profile if you want to try one out for yourself. Now, I originally sold a red Ferrari, this one right here, for $88,000, and that car had an accident, and it was still a really, really clean car. My yellow one, 43,000 miles serviced, yeah, it had an accident, but it was in 2008. So what is that, 17, 18 years ago? And instead of announcing that it had an accident, which is a disclosure, and disclosures should be disclosed to the buyers, they didn't announce anything positive about the car. They just got into the negative aspects of the car and crushed the value right in front of me, right in front of thousands of people, and never announced that it had a clean title or even what the mileage was. The car had a clean title. And if you read the thousands of comments on Facebook and Instagram, they said that's what a reconstructed title vehicle is worth. Meaning when they heard Barrett Jackson's description, they also thought that it had a rebuilt title, which just is so sad, so sick to me. Now, what's really bumming me out is I had this yellow Ferrari listed on Facebook and my website and a bunch of other places for $82,000. I could have sold it at Copart. I could have sold it at Mecum back in January. I could have sold it on Facebook Marketplace, or I could have sold it to retail. I could have even brought it to a dealer auction for more money than that. But I wanted the footage, I wanted the experience, and I wanted to give Barrett Jackson the opportunity to sell my car and have a lot of fun with it. And it just didn't go that way, which really is bumming me out. Now, let's forget the $88,000 red Ferrari. It's been 2 years, times have changed, but that car is worth $60,000 to $70,000 easily. I mean, I paid $60,000 for it at a dealer auction. And like I said, it's not just the loss on the car. Now they're targeting me online and forcing me to remove all of my content. And my hands are tied, and it's not only costing me just tremendously in this sale, but it's now costing me my YouTube revenue. So let's get into the details. This is my 3rd year selling at the Barrett Jackson auction. I originally sold a blue Cobra, a Terminator supercharged Cobra, and then the year after that, I sold my grandfather's 2001 Chevy Corvette with 68,000 miles, and now the Ferrari. The problem that I had my first year, and I should have learned from my experience, was they didn't announce the mileage. So that Cobra has a digital odometer, and when the car is sitting, if the keys are out, which the auction takes the keys, no one can see what the mileage is. And then the description on the windshield should have said that. And when I register a vehicle, I write the description, I approve the description. It said the mileage, and they removed the mileage on the window sticker of the car. So no one looking at that vehicle knew what the mileage was on my Cobra. And then it ran through the auction block, and there are people that bid spontaneously like, hey, that's a good deal, I'll buy that. They didn't announce the 31,000 and change mileage on my Cobra. Hey, how you
Convertible.
doing?
Now may not be business compliant in all 50 states. It is powered by factory, hand-built and supercharged, 4.6-liter dual overhead cam V8 engine making 612 horsepower.
We're at 20,000 right now, 22. The car is 31. I'm the seller. I'm the seller of this one. Yeah, 31,000 original miles on it. Go to the other side. I'm gonna lose my shirt. I'm the seller for that car. That's 31,000 miles. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get 30 for it. No. That's all right. Down if you wanted to know. All right, got you, 30. Thank you. Not 30. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, we're $30,000 neutral. All right, somebody got a good deal on that car. So it could have been 100,000, it could have been 80,000, it could have been 150,000 miles. Nobody knows. The mileage tremendously affects the value of a vehicle. So let's jump into their website and show you how it was listed, my description, and how it was represented 3 years ago on my Mustang. So $30,000 neutral. All right, somebody got a good deal on that car. And there she goes. All right, sold for 30. That is my break even. So all that work was for show, really. But I feel relieved that I did not lose money. So now that the Cobra sold, I broke even. Luckily, it was scary, but it was a really, really fun experience, and I had just hundreds of thousands of views that made me money and took care of my break even on the Cobra, so it really made it worth it. Let's flash back to last year where I sold my grandfather's 2001 Chevy Corvette with 68,000 miles. Now again, digital odometer, so when they take the key out and park it, no one gets to know what the mileage is. And they didn't write it in the description on the windshield, even though that is something that I wrote. And mileage is really, really important when selling a vehicle. You know that, and I know that. So here's how it was listed according to my description when I applied for it to sell. I gotta get like 14 to break even on it.
Nice car. You had it a long time?
It's my grandfather's. He's owned it since '04. Oh God, this is cheap.
Once again, triple black configuration.
13?
The cars only had 3 previous.
It's at 13. I need to get 14 to break even on it. All right, we're good, we're good. We're at our break even now, almost. 14 covers my fees and I'm breaking even, yeah. Good, all right, so I'm clear. Now I just get to have fun the rest of the day. We made a little bit, good, we did okay.
Not a bad day.
I feel better about today. Thanks a lot. Now it's sold at the Barrett Jackson Auction, no reserve, and luckily it's sold for a profit. I think I made $300. Now I could have brought that to the dealer auction across the street and sold it for more than it's sold for at Barrett Jackson, and unfortunately after commissions it's basically a break even. So 2 years in a row, 2 break evens, but I had fun. I had an experience. It was a trip for me. Like, it's like a vacation. I love it. I get to shoot content. I grow my channel. I really, really thoroughly enjoy it. It's not about the break even. It's about the experience, which is why I love Barrett Jackson and the Mecum auctions. I have so much fun at them. It's like my Super Bowl. I love it. Now let's get into my yellow Ferrari. I wasn't going to run it through Barrett Jackson. I could have ran it through a dealer auction. Again, I told you everywhere I could have sold it. But I wanted the experience, and I reached out to them. I have a rep there and said, hey, listen, what do you think it's worth? And he responded and said, yeah, this is about what they're selling for. This is what you should get. And I said, I know it's no reserve. I can't sell it for $40 or $50 or even $60,000. Do you think this is realistic? If it is, I'll list it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now that was verbal, and clearly they don't put it in writing. If it was in an email, I would have shown you. And it was over a phone call, and it makes sense now that it was for a reason that it was a phone call, because I have no evidence that we even had that conversation. In email, they never responded to me. He just responded and said, submit it through our website after we had the verbal phone conversation. Now,
solid 50 pounds on the net.
I'll explain something. No reserve is crazy scary. It is huge risk because of exactly what happened in the scenario. I would have never, ever listed my Ferrari had I known they were going to announce it the way they announced it. Now, a lot of you said that's considered a disclosure. Disclosure is saying Carfax shows a reported accident in 2008. It's not going into detail the way they did. I already did a video about that. They did me a disservice. Now, here's the other problem. The first phone call that I had with this rep was, I can sell that for $70,000 every day.
but I'd rather sell it at the auction. It makes for a good experience. I can make videos about it. Do you think this is a reasonable offer? Yes, between $60,000 and $80,000 is, which is why I moved forward with this no reserve auction. So then I went into their website, I logged in, I registered, and let's get into the description. That is the long description that I signed off on that would be written in the ad, written online, written in the ad on the windshield, not announced. Now you'll notice they didn't announce any of the first information, any of the positive attributes of the car. They didn't announce the short description that said the good things about the car. They only announced the Carfax, which I'm okay with. That's fine. I mean, fine, they didn't say accident 2008. They really went into it, but they led off with only the negative. And I just can't figure out, what did I do that they did me that way? It's just, I just feel so slighted, and it gets a lot worse even after that.
So I listed it, and I wrote a description, and I initial the description, and even you can see in the long description, it showed that it had an accident. And what really hurts me is that they didn't announce or read either of the two descriptions. They just read the ending of the long description, which was unfortunately the worst part of the car, and it is why it sold for $50,000. Now the problem is too, I hired a videographer and editor, and like I had mentioned, this is my Super Bowl. I want to create content. I want to like shoot TV shows. I really thoroughly enjoy making videos, and it's rewarding and it's fun for me. And I hired a videographer and an editor to make it look professional, so it wasn't just me holding a GoPro. And millions of people watched the videos, and I spoke so highly, even in this video, I spoke so highly of Barrett Jackson and what just an event they host. Honestly, they've never gone out of their way to help me out ever. I could have ran that car anywhere, and I chose Barrett Jackson, and they never even attempted to help me with anything, and they just did me a disservice. Even the weekend before the dealer auction across the street had a Highline sale, I was there with the car. That was the day I was dropping the Ferrari off at Barrett Jackson. I could have ran it through there, and I honestly would have gotten a check that day from them with minimal description. I could have ran it red light, no headaches, and had a check that day for probably, yes, for more money, absolutely for more money. But I chose to go with Barrett Jackson because I like the event, and I hired the videographer. The other thing, selling it at my dealer auction would have only cost me a few $100s. Instead, it cost me a commission of $5,700 to run it through Barrett Jackson. So not only would it have sold for more at a dealer auction, the fee would have been, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars less. Like I don't think even $700 would have been my fee to sell it at my dealer auction. And again, I would have been paid that day. So I do a series for Barrett Jackson, for Mecum, and selling the Ferrari was the culmination of my series, and I was so positive for 15 of the 7 minutes, just talking up the auction and showing the cars and what a great event. Well, I was even trying to be positive the whole time, even though I was nervous deep down. 15 of the 17 minutes were so amazing. And then the truth came out, and the vehicle sold. They sold my vehicle, and honestly broke my heart, destroyed my soul. And even after the vehicle sold, I didn't say anything negative about Barrett Jackson. I was so struck, so taken aback that I was speechless and didn't have anything to say. And that's how the video ended, with me just being somber and sad. And never in that entire video did I ever besmirch, talk down about Barrett Jackson at all. Ever. And they made me take that video down. Why did they make me take that video down? Well, I'll tell you why. During the beginning of that auction day, my videographer was on stage with me looking at a car, and they had their cameras on stage as well. And I have a media pass, so I'm allowed up there. And the person in charge of the media came up to me outside and said, "Hey, listen, we can't have him on stage." And I said, "Well, I hired him for when my Ferrari runs through. Can he be on stage then?" "No, you can have him sit with the bidders and video from there. And if you want, you can use our footage that we take of your car." So I'm like, perfect, we'll do that. So I did. I used their footage, and I had a verbal agreement, that verbal permission to use it. And because it wasn't my footage, they challenged it in every social media platform. It's their right, it's their footage. I have no license for it. I just had a verbal agreement, and every piece of that content in the series had to be removed because I used their 1 minute of video. And even in my reaction video, I showed the video while I was explaining it. So I showed the on-screen on my phone. Even that had to be removed. So whether one video had 30 seconds or one video had 3 minutes, it was their content, not mine. And I had to remove all my videos because of it. Again, copyright infringement. So if you go to Facebook, I was demonetized temporarily because of it. So like I said, not only did they beat me down, but they're consistently still kicking me. And I showed you my first email. I told you I had a phone conversation with my rep asking for an approximate value. And I said many times, I know it's no reserve, but what do you expect that we get for it? And he answered. He said, yeah, $70,000 to $80,000 over and over. They asked what I wanted, and I said what I wanted, and they said, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. And that's why I went with them. And after the fees, $70,000 was basically my break even, and I had told them that. Every time I said a number, they said, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. And clearly it didn't bring anywhere even near that as I'm looking at this, just with disgust again. Now, I'm a big fan of communication. I think like problems can be solved over a verbal conversation so quickly. I reached out to Barrett Jackson right after the car sold, and I reached out to 4 different representatives, and no one responded to me at all. So after my absolute failure of a sale, I reached out ever before making a video, and I CC'd every representative I had, just asking for assistance, asking for anything. I don't need money back. I just wanted, like, what can I do? What happened here? Some type of explanation, some courtesy to respond, anything, and just nothing. Nothing. Not even one person responded to me. So I went forward with my videos, and I aired the video of it selling, and again, didn't say anything bad of them. And then I aired the video of my reaction, just explaining what happened and how hurt I was and how disappointed I am with how they represented my vehicle and how they handled the situation and how they just ignored me. Yesterday morning, I woke up to an email from Google, from YouTube, telling me to delete every video, not make it unlisted, not make it private, delete every single video. Now, again, I told you I'm a fan of communication. I called Barrett Jackson's media department right away. They didn't answer. I left a voicemail. I called twice, and I left 2 voicemails, and no one called me back. So I sent them an email to the email that was submitted with the Google request, and no one responded. So no one has ever reached out to me. And it's just because they don't care. I'm the little man. Who cares about me, right? The idea that the little man can succeed is probably not a real thing. We're just constantly crushed by the bigger person and stepped on with people that have more money, more power over and over until you either have one of 2 results. Either you give up and break down, which I feel like you're watching happen right now, or we get up and we keep pushing and keep pressing past all this pain and punishment and failure until we get on the other side. And then unfortunately, hate to say that we're the bigger person that steps on people. I don't know. I don't really know. I can just tell you right now, like, I'm the person that nobody really cares about. Now, I feel like over the past year, you've been watching my demise. You watched me for years on YouTube with my successes and my wins and even the failures, turning them into successes. And the past year, moving to Florida has been really difficult. I'm still trying to figure out what works, what makes me happy, what I don't like. And along the way, I've had a lot of successes, a lot of joys, a lot of happiness, and a lot of failures, which I show you guys everything. So you see what is working and what isn't working on camera. And the past year has been jam-packed with life lessons, successes, and failures, both positive and negative. And this is just one of those ones where I felt helpless. I felt like it was out of my hands and out of my control. Unfortunately, no one cares about you. No one cares about me. No one cares about the little man. And why would they? I mean, they have people selling 20, 30 cars a year there, 50 cars a year there, worth millions of dollars. Why would they care about my Ferrari? They want to protect themselves, not protect me. I thought the auctions were there to get the most they could for their seller, but ultimately it's not. It's for them to collect a commission and protect themselves. That's what it is. They got $5,000 from me, they got $5,000 from the buyer, and they got $7,000 in my fees to consign it. So they made $10,700 off of my demise while protecting themselves, and then stripped me of my ability to even try to recover all that loss through YouTube videos by forcing me to remove them all. And I think just ultimately I'm so disappointed, because if you watch the beginning of my videos, I always say this is me learning how to get into this industry, how I'm learning how it's gonna work. I want to do more cars. I want to do more higher end cars. And I started with a $30,000 car and worked my way up to selling better cars, but now they won. I don't even have a voice anymore. I don't have the ability to tell you or show you my side. And even in this video, like, what am I doing wrong that they just have more power and will force me to remove this video too? It sucks. I know you guys sometimes call me crying wheels. This one for sure is. I try to always be positive and push forward. When I fail, I continue to figure out the way to succeed, turn that failure into success. And that is how you succeed. You have to find the positive. You have to find the solution in the problem. And that's how you win. And some are just out of our control. Some are out of our hands, just like this one. It is what it is. Some people hate me for it. Some people appreciate my videos. I hope you learn from my mistakes, from my losses, so you don't make these. I'm gonna turn it around and start focusing on things that made me money. Tahoes, Jeep Wranglers, Corvettes, Camaros, Mustangs. I really wanted to get into exotics, and it's not worth it. As I'm saying it with a Lamborghini behind me. I love that car behind me, it makes me smile, and I really think we're gonna make some money if I play it right. Just beware of things like this that happened to me recently. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful, informative, entertaining. If it was, thumbs ups are appreciated. Please continue to share and like my content and comments. And we're gonna get back into the flipping series with my son. I bought a foreclosure home that I'm gonna show you from the bank. How did I buy it? Made literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's why I said I don't really care about this check. I care more about the experience. And we're gonna get into some other fun things coming up too. So thanks for watching, thanks for the support. I'll see you all later. Adios.